Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Teresa, and today we are going to talk about something that directly affects every single one of us, which is phishing emails. So, whatever profession you find yourself in, it's highly likely that every now and then you're going to come across a phishing email or an unsolicited email landing in your inbox. If you have never heard a term before, don't worry. By the end of today, you'll be able to spot a phishing email faster than you can say delete. And that's the superpower in today's world. Why? Because phishing is how most data breach starts. It is the gateway, but here is the good news. Phishing emails almost always have telltale signs. Once you know what to look for, you become your organization's first line of defense. So let's start with the basics. Phishing is when someone pretends to be a trusted person or organization to trick you into revealing sensitive information, or the cliche, click a malicious link. Think of it like phishing, where you actually fish with a lion hook, but this time with emails. So the attackers cast a wide net, that they send thousands of emails hoping someone will take the bait. If by the end of the session, it will not be you. Now, why do I say NGOs are highly valued targets? Because they have something hackers want. Or why do SMEs, or why do I say SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are high value targets? Because they have something hackers want. Okay. So we have one, donor system. So your donor platforms, a hacker wants to get access to your donor database so that they cannot just steal donor contact info, but they can impersonate the organization to donors or redirect funds. This one alone can destroy trust. And then we also have compliance requests. Governments and regulatory agencies, NGOs often have special compliance requirements. Hackers know this. They send emails pretending to be tax authorities or immigration officials, demanding beneficiary information or financial records. The third thing will be financial data. So payments processes and then banking credentials. If a hacker gets your finance team's login info, they can transfer funds or even drain the account completely to zero. One successful wire fraud can cripple a lot more operations. And then the last one is internal leadership, where which is impersonation of own leadership. Okay, so a volunteer gets an email that looks like it's from the executive director asking them to urgently send sensitive information or wire money. It looks real, it feels urgent, only that it is not real or it's not urgent. Any of these sound familiar, right? Have you seen any suspicious emails in your inbox relating to any of the items I've talked about? Now that we know what phishing is, let us talk about why it works. Every phishing email has a purpose. Understanding what attackers want helps you recognize when you are being targeted. There are three main goals. The first goal is to steal credentials. The first is to steal your login details or login credential, your username, your password, your email account access. Why? Because with your credentials, a hacker can access your donor portal, that's one NGO, your email, your internal systems as SMEs. They can impersonate you also, and they can access files you have access to. One password is a skeleton key. The second goal is to steal data. So that's to steal sensitive data directly. That's beneficiary records, financial statements, donor list, strategic plans, failed reports from partner organizations. This data is valuable. It can be sold, it can be used for extortion, or leaked to damage your organization's reputation. The third is to install malware. This is more sophisticated. They want to put ransomware or a spyware or even a keylogger on your computer so they can monitor everything you do, every keystroke, every file you access. It's a silent attack. You might not even know it's there, but it's there and it's monitoring your every move. And before you realize it, it's too late. Here's what is important. Phishers don't care which one succeeds. They just want something to work. So they send the same email to dozens or hundreds of people, hoping that at least one person will fall for it. And that's it. Their mission has been completed. If one person falls for it, that is it. So let that sink in as we move on. So let's look at a real example. This is a phishing email that's designed to steal your donor portal login credentials. Look at what's on the screen. You see the email on the left and on the right, the red flags that would make you stop and question if this is actually real. So let's read the email aloud and slowly. So it says from no reply at donor-secure.com. Subject is verify your access. And it goes on to say, dear supporter, your donor portal will expire in 24 hours. Verify now with a link to click to verify. Now, if you were busy and if you had 47 other emails in your inbox and you were in a rush, what would you do? You might just click, isn't it? Because who would want their portal to expire? And that's exactly what attackers are counting on your agency to just do it. But these are the flags that could, the red flags we could point out that could make us stop and question if this is actually a legit email. So the first red flag is the generic greeting, no name used. So if this is actually your donor portal, they would actually mention your name or your surname, or at least with your initials. Notice the dear supporter, not dear Sarah or hi Marcus. It's generic. Legitimate emails from your organization use your name almost all the time. Phishing emails can because they don't know you, but they are hoping you would ignore that and then do as they're telling you to do because they are sent to thousands of people at once. The second red flag is the artificial urgency. Artificial urgency within a 24-hour deadline. Expire in 24 hours. Urgent, all caps. Sending chills down your spine, isn't it? This is pressure. This is a pressure tactic. The attacker is trying to make sure you panic so you don't think. Always, phishing emails can't be so you don't think. Legitimate organizations give you time to respond. And even sometimes say, if you have any questions, you can get back to us. But as you can see, this email is not giving the opportunity to even get back to them with any questions that you have. Phishers want you to act on emotion, not logic. The third red flag is suspicious domain, which is the donor secure -secure.com. Here is the trick. Look at the domain carefully. The real domain might be donorplatform.org, but this phishing email uses donor-secure.com. It looks similar, donor secure, but it's not the same. Domain is Spartan. Slight spelling variations. I hope you can see that. This is a classic phishing move where they change just a letter in the authentic email address and make it look like it's the real one when actually it could be a fake one. Exactly. And then the fourth red flag was the fact that it was requesting for login credentials. This is the biggest red flag. Legitimate organizations such as your bank, your email provider, or even any platform you use at all, like a donor platform, will never ask you to enter your password via an email link. Never. If you need to log in, they will tell you to go directly to their website and do so, and not through a link in an email they sent to you. The last red flag is a spelling variation. That's a slight spelling variation on a known domain. Is that okay? So it has to do with you see, the donor-secure.com. Yeah, there's a difference between the donor-secure.com and then the donor-secure-verify.com. So they've taken out the verify, and without checking, you might think, oh, it's the same as the legit email you're used to seeing, and then you might click the link and then eventually infect your machine. So the bottom line, if you see one of these red flags, kindly pause. If you see 3 or 4, that's definitely phishing. Do not click, delete it, or report it to your IT department. So this is a second example we can look at. This one is particularly dangerous because it targets the compliance and regulatory side of most organizations. This is a phishing email pretending to be from a government agency. So it reads, the subject is critical, tax compliance audit. And it goes on to say that your organization has been selected for audit. Upload your beneficiary database, financial records, and staff contact immediately. How many of you immediately felt a little anxious reading that? That's the point. The attacker knows that compliance audits are stressful, to say the least, and they are using that stress against you. So let's walk through the flags that make this email a phishing one. So the first one is requesting for sensitive data. It's requesting for your beneficiary database, your financial records, your contact staff, and it's asking you to upload them immediately. No tax authority or labor department will ever ask you to upload anything via an email link. They have secure portals and will always direct you to their website or secure portals to upload those documents. The second red flag is if it threatens penalties. Okay, so the threat of fines or audit penalties. This is fear-based phishing. It's designed to short circuit your critical thinking and make sure you act fast without thinking at all. Real government agencies send official notices through registered email and they give you timelines. They don't rush you into doing anything. They don't threaten you via email either. It is never done. The third flag is fake government domain. So we have fake government domain or sender address. A real government agency has .gov domain or an official government email address, not an unknown link or some made-up sender address without a .gov domain. If you are ever unsure, look at the agency's official website independently and check if the email domain matches. Most often you realize that they don't match at all, and that could mean that's a suspicious email or that's a phishing email. The bottom line is this type of phishing is especially dangerous because it exploits compliance anxiety because of the stress associated with auditing. Whenever you get an email that has to do with auditing and all that, you want to act as fast as possible to avoid the stress. And this is what phishers or attackers would like to count on or exploit. So if you ever get an email like this, your first step is not to click. Your first step is to contact your leadership or your IT team and say, I've got this email claiming to be from so-and-so agency. Is this real? They would most likely say forward the email to us and they will investigate and let you know if the email is legit as they claim to be. So now that you've seen two examples, let's talk about this tool. So it's a tool I made up called the anti-phishing checklist. This is something you can use right away every single day with every suspicious email. So before you click any link or respond to any email, ask yourself these 5 questions. Run through the checklist. It takes less than 30 seconds anyway, and it can save your organization from a data breach. Wouldn't you rather want to waste 30 seconds of your time to check if an email is legit than to click on a link that will cost the organization weeks a month of having to stop a data breach or a cyber attack from happening? So the first question is, do I recognize the sender? Check the full email address and not just the display name. This is critical. Attackers can spoof display names, okay? They can make an email look like it's from your organization or CEO name, but the actual email address could be a fake one. Your email clients might show CEO name, blah, 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 but the email address itself might be a fake one. So don't look at just the display name. Check the full email address too. If you are ever unsure, do not reply to the email. Instead, look at the person's contact info independently from your company directory, from your organization's website, and reach out to them directly if they sent the email, and ask them if they did. Usually reach out to them via other means other than replying to the email that was sent to you. Question 2, is the greeting personalized? Does it use your actual name? Phishing emails are mass produced. They can't know everyone's name, so they use generic greetings like dear supporter, hi friend, or dear value customer, or sometimes no greeting at all. Real emails from people who know you will use your name, such as hi Sarah, hi Marcos, hey Theresa. When someone takes the time to use your name, it shows they are writing to you specifically and not to thousands of people. Question 3. Does this create artificial urgency or fear? Does it have words like urgent, act now, or your account to be closed, verify immediately, or penalties apply? These are all pressure tactics, trust me. Legitimate organizations do not operate this way at all. Your bank will close your account because you did not respond to an email within 24 hours. You'll be given timelines and be given the opportunity to always reach back if you have any questions. Your email provider will not delete your files if you don't verify immediately. When you see urgency language, pause. That's a signal to slow down and think, not to act faster. The fourth question is, does the link or request seem suspicious? Hover over the link to see what the real URL is. Do not click. I said hover over it to see what it looks like, what the real URL looks like. Does the domain match with the organization claimed? So if they claim to be from a government agency, you should see the .gov domain attached, or from an education institution, you should see the .edu attached, domain attached. So if you don't see any of that, then that's ringing some bells. This is one of the most practical red flags you can use. Before you click any link in an email, hover your mouse over it. Do not click. Hover your mouse over it just to reveal the actual URL so that I can analyze to see if it's a legitimate URL. A tooltip will appear showing where that link actually goes. Is that okay? If an email says click here to access your donor portal, but the link goes to a random site called 123.com, then that's a phishing email. No two ways about that. Is that okay? And then the fifth question is, am I being asked for sensitive information such as passwords, login credentials, financial data, beneficial information, personal details, card details, bank details? Legitimate organizations will never ask you to send this via email, ever. Email is not secure. Emails can be intercepted. So they know, legitimate organizations know very well not to ask you to send these via email, but rather they will direct you to their legitimate portals or websites where you can securely upload these details. Is that okay? Or better so, they'll come and ask you in person. Never send it over an email or ask you to reply an email with sensitive documents. Red alert. If you answer yes to any red flag, even if it's just one of these questions, stop. Don't click. Report it to your IT or security team, or better still, delete the email. I want to be very clear about this, please. You're not expected to figure this out alone. If something feels off, if you answer yes to any of these questions, that's a signal to stop and ask for help. Your IT team or your security lead or your manager, they want to know about suspicious emails, so kindly reach out to them. If it's a personal email, if this suspicious email or phishing email lands in your inbox, kindly delete it and report it as spam. Your email provider take it from there, be Google, Outlook. They'll make sure that emails from such email addresses always land in your junk, so you don't have to come across it at all. So they would much rather you report a suspicious email that turns out to be a legitimate email than for you to click and compromise the whole system. Okay. So let's practice. I'm going to read to you a subject line from a real phishing email address for a real phishing email that was sent. And I want you to think through the checklist mentally to answer the questions. Is that okay? Right. So let's go back to the email examples. So when you read the email examples, you realize that you tend to answer yes to more than one of these questions mentioned. And we have already discussed that they are phishing emails. So once we are answering yes to any of these questions, then our answers have been verified. We are now sure that those are actually phishing. emails. So so now that we've gone through the checklist and you know what an email is, or you think an email is a phishing email, what's now? Or now what? What's your action plan here? So the step one is do not click, avoid all links or attachments at all costs. Then the second is do not reply. Even replying confirms your email is active. So do not reply at all to give the attacker or the person sending the phishing email some kind of hope that, oh, this person has seen my my phishing email, and they might definitely act on it. The third is to report it. So forward it to your IT team or security team, or if it's your personal email, report it as spam to your email provider, and it will take it from them. Most email platforms like Gmail or Outlook, like I said before, have an inbuilt way to report phishing emails. Look for a report phishing or report spam button, click on it, and your email provider will take you from there. When you report it, your organization gets the information they need to block the sender. So does your email provider. The email platform learns about the new phishing tactics, and other people are protected from the same attack. Because once you report it, the sender is blocked, so they can't send it to other people. It's okay. And you are contributing to the security of everyone within your organization, or that uses your that's on the platform of your email provider. The fourth is to verify independently. So contact the supposed sender directly by phone or text. Like I said, do not reply to the email. Verify by some other way. So if Michael sends, let's assume Michael sent an email, but it's actually a official that sent an email pretending to be Michael, and you happen to have Michael's contact, just phone up Michael. It will take a minute or two to ask him if he actually sent the email. If he did not, he will tell you he did not, and that would let you know that that's a phishing email. And then the last step is to delete. Once you've reported it, kindly delete the email from your inbox. Do not keep it for referencing or anything like that. Once you've reported it, it will be taken from there, and that's the only reference you need. Don't forward it to others as warning. Just delete it. Keeping it in your inbox or worse, forwarding to others increases the risk that someone will accidentally click on it, and you don't want that to happen. Once you've reported it to security, your job is done. Delete it and move on. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video on our weekly security awareness training. For this topic was identifying phishing emails. And I want to leave you with this key message is that, okay, you are the first line of defense against phishing, because you are the first to receive that email. Even before a breach happens or an attack happens, you are the first to receive that email. So you are the first line of defense against phishing, not your IT team, not your security software, your attention, your skepticism, your willingness to pause before clicking, your willingness to pause, think before acting. Is that okay? So phishing emails are the number one gateway for data breaches. Most organizations that suffer a breach trace it back to a phishing email. One person click, and one click or one link was enough. But here's the flip side. Even if one person in your organization catches a phishing email before clicking, that breach is prevented. Exactly. So there are three takeaways from here. Spot it, use the checklist I talked about earlier on before clicking. So you now have a 5-question checklist. Use it every time. And every time you receive an email, run through it. It takes less than 10 seconds to do so. It's a safety net. So if ever you answer yes to any of these questions, kindly be careful moving on. And then the second one is to stop, don't click, reply, or download. If you spot a phishing email, your job is simple. Stop, don't engage, don't try to be helpful by replying or clicking, just stop. And then 3, report it. Alert your IT or security team immediately. This is how your organization learns about attacks. This is how other systems get updated to block the attacker's email. By reporting, you are protecting everyone. And secondly, I want you to trust your instincts, okay? If ever you feel like something is off, it probably is. If ever you feel like something is too good to be true, it is. So when in doubt, ask your security team, okay, or use the checklist I've shared with you in the previous slide. The organization will rather have you ask 100 times about legitimate email than have one person for phishing and compromise sensitive data. You're not expected to be a security expert in any way, but you're expected to be vigilant, and your vigilance is your superpower. Let that sink in. So this is the core of what you need to know about phishing. But before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Do you have any questions? Have you seen suspicious emails at work? What concerns do you have? Can you drop them in the comment section? I'd love to interact with you all. Thank you all very much for your time. Do you have a nice day? Bye-bye.